The dedication of Lehmann Gardens, August 19th, 2010. The speakers and their speeches, an edited version.
This is a great occasion in memory of Tom Lehmann. Thanks everyone for coming to our barbecue. Tom's pastor, Pastor Paul Jansen. If you'd like to step up.
As Victoria said, thank you all for being here. This really is a testament to the influence that Tom held. Tom exercised on many of you all. We think also of those who have yet to take residence here, people who may not have even heard of the place and may never know that it used to be called Woodland Gardens, but will only know of it as whatever it says on that sign. I didn't peek yet. No, I'm not giving anything away. It feels good to live in a place where we embody compassion, in a place, in the homes where people can live their lives independently and with respect for one another and with dignity. So we're thankful for all of those who made the dream happen and for all of you who continue to make it happen. And thanks especially, of course, for Tom.
Mayor Rushman.
We have a beautiful day today. I can only guess who's responsible for it, but I'm sure he's looking down saying, see, I told you I'd make a nice day for you, and he did. I was not privy to know Tom that well, but someone who was, Steve Hopper, who's a councilman here in town, as soon as he saw the article in the paper about the demise of Tom, he jumped right on it and started working on getting things going for today.
Boy, when I started on this about 2 months ago with this dedication, when I met with the Housing Authority and they had the idea that 50 people would show up, I said, you're out of your mind. I said, it's going to be at least 150 to 200 people. And I really appreciate everybody coming. This is a true testament to Tom, all the work he did, all his vision and his legacies. Instead of looking inwardly and saying that he was restricted and he couldn't do this and couldn't do that, he did everything he wanted to do, and he inspired others. I'd like to bring up Jack Kreismer, who has been Tom's lifelong friend.
Thank you, Steve. Thanks, Steve. Before I begin, Quibbs, could you bring me over my script here, please? This happens to be the mug of Tom Lehmann, and everybody, I think, who knows him can recognize this. This he used first in Florida on 3 occasions when we went to spring training games there in the late 90s. As in the immortal words of Tom, Steve, while you're up, could you get me a beer? There are a couple of other props that I have. Quibbs, could you bring over the prop on top of the grill here? This card holder was made by Tom's dad. Tom's dad was a carpenter's carpenter, and he made this specifically for Tom. It stood the test of time, and it's really a testament to, a very small testament to their love for Tom, his father's love for him, and his mother's love for him. You know, Tom is the man behind this project, but his mother was a driving force, and his father was as good a father as anyone could have. And his 2 brothers there, who don't want to be mentioned, but they're going to be anyway, are 2 of them who have cared for Tom since. And it's really a testament to the whole family that this place will soon be named Gardens. So, with that in mind, we know that there's an extended family here too. The extended family being the whole community. I like to think that there is separation of church and state, and then there are exceptions to separation of church and state. This is an exception to the rule for a very exceptional man. So many people here who make this complex what it is. A tightly knit community, probably the most tightly knit community that I've ever seen. And it all starts with Tom. Last but not least, I just want to mention that, you know, yes, Tom had quadriplegia, and he was a quadriplegic for 39 years. Yes, he suffered from Lou Gehrig's disease. You know, it doesn't get much worse than that. But Tom loved to have good times. I can't tell you how many good times we've had. But I do want to tell you that I received a letter from one of Tom's aides after his memorial service. It was Mary Ann Cosby. I don't know whether she's here today, but Mary Ann wrote to me that she realized how lucky she was to have worked with Tom, and to see how lucky she was and how humbled she was when, as she wrote, "My very worst day is better than Tom's best day." Well, there is some truth to that, but in addition to that, you should know that Tom had very good days, and you should also know that's what he would want you to have. Thank you.
Jim Lehmann, Tom's brother.
To everyone who made this day possible, our family gives you our admiration and our gratitude. And thank everyone here for coming. Though Tom never would have asked for this day, he sure would have treasured it. Rich Credo, Gene Ashley, Bill Bailey, Rich Franco, Tom Lehmann. These 5 young men broke what was at the time the Pascack Hills High School 880-yard relay and mile relay track record, the varsity track. That was June 4th, 1969. 2 years and 2 months later, Tom broke his neck. He would be paralyzed from that day on. He spent the next 13 months in Point Pleasant Hospital and Kessler Rehabilitation. Over a year he was away from home. Tom had every right to feel sorry for himself. He didn't. He didn't give up. While he was still at Kessler, Tom wrote a letter to our then pastor, Bob Pope, and I quote, "I finally realized it's when you always feel sorry for yourself that you lose. I can't be a member of the Poor Me Club." This complex was the first on the entire East Coast. It was only the second in the entire United States. All right? Only for the will of Tom and so many others do these buildings stand today. That was his destiny. In 1979, at the age of 27, Tom got the brainstorm to bring about housing for the handicapped, himself as well. That was somewhat of a novel idea at the time, for the physically handicapped to live independent from their parents, from institutions, group homes, and other less desirable living arrangements. The initial step Tom took to explain to others the need for housing for the physically handicapped occurred in February of 1980. At that time, he didn't realize the obstacles he would face trying to accomplish this. Tom's sense of humor was still intact. Someone said to him, "It's next to a graveyard." Tom said, I quote, "I like that. It's quiet." Tom enlisted the assistance of members of Congress, wrote letters to senators, even sent a letter to President Ronald Reagan at the time. If not for our parents, Doris and Paul, there's a good chance Tom would have given up. But behind every good man, there's a good woman. That was our mother. She prodded Tom, kicked his butts when she needed to. She wouldn't let him stop. She rejoiced with him at every move forward and cried with every setback. Thank you for all those involved in this rededication today, and for understanding the magnitude of what Tom accomplished here. Look around. If it weren't for Tom, you may be staring at a vacant, landlocked piece of property. This is Tom's field of dreams. Wow. Can everybody see it? It says Lehmann Gardens, 12-14 Sulak Lane. This is a tremendous sign. Oh my goodness. This is a lot nicer than the sign they had before. Wow. I guess Mr. Woodland didn't do anything. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. It's spelled right, too. Thank you, Tom.